Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of Meet the Speakers for Support Driven Expo 2025. Today we're joined by Tamara Wall, a support leader who will be sharing her talk, AI and the Heart of Career Growth. So, Tamara, first of all, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Mhm. Great, thank you for this. So, diving in completely on your talk, as I've mentioned, the title of your talk is AI and the Heart of Career Growth, and you're going to be participating on the AI track. Why do you feel support leaders should care about integrating AI into career growth planning?
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, one is just to kind of acknowledge the elephant in the room that AI is here, right? It's not going anywhere. It's very much integrated in the things that we do, and it's going to continue being integrated into the things that we do. So that's just getting people used to the use of it. But I think also it's important because any great leader is going to want to make sure that you're equipping those that work for you to be successful in the job market, to always consider upskilling and being prepared for what's to come, and then also embracing things that are just going to make their lives easier, right? And essentially that's what AI is going to do, whether we're building out development plans, resume building, upskilling, whatever the case may be. It's AI is in some way or shape or form going to make those steps easier, and so we want to make sure that we're embracing them. So that's probably the main reason why we should care, is just making sure that we're optimizing the development conversations and experiences for those that are working for us.
Okay, that sounds great. And you've already kind of started with this, but what do you feel it's the disconnect between traditional career development in support teams and the way that we are working or that you're proposing to work today?
Yeah, so I think what we really focus on, well, what we have focused on historically is this idea that, the harder you work, the longer you're with an organization, that means that, you are going to get promoted and those good things are going to come to you. And yes, sometimes that does happen. But I think in today's world where the landscape of customer support is changing and the landscape of the skill sets that you need to be successful in CX are changing, um, realistically, like, we can no longer rely on that antiquated thinking of that. It no longer is about, how hard you work. It's about how efficient you are when you're working and how effective and impactful you are when you're working. And it's no longer about, how long you're with an organization. Gone are the days of you being with an organization for 5, 10 years and moving your way up. We're now, especially in the tech space, where I work, we're very much 2 to 3 years with an organization is like you're tenured at that point, because it's just not common to see much beyond that. So we really have to get out of this idea that, that promotes, just hardworking and effort and lack of work-life balance and all those things. Those are not the areas that we want to promote when we think about career growth and development. I want to know that someone is able to be adaptable and can learn quickly and is able to be impactful with the work that they do and is efficient and in their effectiveness in their role. And a lot of that can come from implementing AI strategies. And how can you think strategically and critically with different tasks that you need to do, and essentially optimize the support experience. So, I mean, yes, you definitely want people to have a strong work ethic, and those things are important. I don't want to take away from those things, but I also want to just acknowledge that the landscape of support is changing, and the way that we build up our workforce and the way that we reinforce the skills that are needed to be successful in today's landscape, it needs to change, and that's not going to happen with our old historical practices.
Thank you so much for sharing this because, as you're saying, it's not that we don't need to still working really hard, but also how can we make it easier or take advantage with the current tools that we have.
Yes. And
So,
how do you go faster?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like it to be more efficient. So, tell us a little bit about your current connection to this topic. So, what made you start thinking differently about how AI could help in team development? What's your experience about this?
Yeah. So I started my career very I guess maybe kind of traditionally, depending on where you are. So many moons ago, when I came on and into corporate America and into the tech space, I was brought up under, you really need to, you can't have any sort of work life balance, right? Like work was work, life was life. You walk in the door, you leave your life behind you. What happens, happens. And then once you're there, you work really, really hard. And if that meant that you needed to put in extra hours, you put in the extra hours. You hoped and prayed for someone to give you a chance or to see, the things that you did. And sometimes that was fruitful. A lot of times it wasn't. And so once I got into leadership and I started working with people on their own development, I realized like, okay, great, are these really the principles that I want to encourage other people to step into? No, actually, it's not. I want people to prioritize their mental health. I want people to be able to enjoy time with their family and their friends and still enjoy work and do really great work and be proud of what they're putting out and grow their careers in a really healthy way. And so I really started changing my development strategy with, first of all, just promoting balance and being able to do things healthily while also growing your career. And then as I started exploring more about what AI could do, I actually started using it in my own career journey as well. So it started out with just, resume, like, hey, here's my resume, throw it in, to chat GPT at the time and like tweak it. And it started highlighting all of these different things that I would have never known on my own. And this is even after I hired a resume writer, and it still pointed out different things for me, and I had more success with job applications with this updated AI, revised resume than I did with the historical one that I did. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then just personal things in my life, right? As you grow money, right? So creating a budget and how do you navigate things with your kids versus I really want this job and what are some of the skills that I need to do. And I was at the time working towards my Security Plus certification. And so I was like, okay, great. Like create a plan for me for the next 1 to 2 years on how I can fit this in with work and my children and all these other responsibilities. And it just kept giving me strategies and ideas that were not only efficient, but also were just helpful to me. It just eased the load and it eased the anxiety and stress around development and growing your career. And so once I had the personal experience with that, I'm like, you know what, let's try it with my team. And so um, not only was I interested in introducing the benefits of using AI, but also like what are the career opportunities that are available in AI? I'm typing out prompts, but that was also a lot of like, just trial and error, what works, what didn't work, doing some research. But there's people who get paid to create prompts, or prompt, engineers. And so when I went outside of that and outside of the benefits of using it, and I started to think like the tech landscape is changing, support landscape is changing, how can we navigate this and actually um, promote career growth in AI as well? I knew it was something that I needed to introduce to my team, and so I did that. We leveraged AI to create development plans, and we, coming from a company that really focuses on the career development and has a very robust career development pathway and process and tools. I also still, wanted to make sure that they understood like you can still leverage AI for other things as well. And so just taking those conversations above the benefits of using AI and also expanding their minds to some other career opportunities that are open to them. That's when I realized like, okay, this actually might be onto something. And it was successful. The conversations, even if it didn't result in a promotion or a career change, the fact that they were more confident in their resume was good for me. The fact that they had upskilled, by 1 or 2 skills based off of what we did, like that's refreshing to me. So when the conversations became more fruitful and we became more intentional about the time, that's when I was like, okay, this is a really good thing. And maybe other leaders need to know this as well.
Okay, amazing. And as you're saying, it doesn't always need to be like a drastic change on the career or on life and everything. It could be only just like noticing the small stuff that sometimes that we don't see. And these tools help us. And you're saying like, okay, I'm seeing the impact and why shouldn't we using why shouldn't we be using this when it's helping in every way? So I like this so much. And well, you're mentioning also that your talk and everything, it's grounded on real world practice. So apart from what you said, is there any other thing that surprised you or that it has been challenging that you learned using AI this way?
Yeah, I think also in addition to like, how do you effectively use AI and what are the career opportunities, it also was awesome that it was able to pick out skills that you would have never thought were beneficial to you or would be beneficial in your career growth in your everyday life that actually are. I think about, myself, I'm a single mom and, budgeting and all of these things, like those are just normal skills for me, right? Those are not skills that I necessarily would consider being executive level or, ones that I would necessarily put on my resume. But when I started using AI and it started actually pulling out those experiences, or even like my community advocacy and the work I do in my community, like pulling out those skills and saying like, no, comparing it, this is the job rec. These are the additional skills that you have outside of your education and your work experience. I thought that was so incredible to me because a lot of times we're just in the motion and we're doing things and we don't realize that we are literally gaining real world skills that businesses want to see. It's no longer about, your college degree or your certificate. It's also about like, can you apply what you're just doing every day and apply it in a way that's going to help optimize our business? And when I realized that AI could do that, and it was pulling out the skills that I never even considered that were so minuscule to me, but that actually had great impact, not only my life, but also had great impact to what I could do for a business and reflected how I could operate optimally in a business, that was mind blowing for me. So just being able to also leverage it in a way that I can do that same thing for my employees. Like, hey, you coach. These are some of the skills that are required to be an effective coach. And this is what you're doing. And how can we translate that into a way that a business will see value in that was really exciting and incredible.
And well, you've given us some takeaways that we kind of expect for your talk, but without giving too much away, could you give us one or two things that are going to be key that attendees can expect to walk away from your session?
Yeah, definitely expect to walk away with practical tools and tips that you can use and take back to your teams on how you have more thoughtful, fruitful, intentional conversations with your employees or even for yourself as you're doing your own development journey. And then also be prepared to expand your mind. I think that a lot of people have a certain idea of what they think AI is and what AI represents, but it's so much bigger than what we're typically used to and what we may see and what people may even be afraid of. And so, just walking away with an expanded perspective, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to adopt it. I hope that you do. But if you don't, at least you're walking away knowing a little bit more about AI and how beneficial it could be to you and to your organization.
I love that. Thank you so much. I think it's going to be really insightful for all of us that are going to be listening to you. And yeah, on a personal note, what are you most looking forward to as a speaker, as an attendee at Expo?
Yeah. So I have started getting LinkedIn messages and invites from people like, hey, I see you're speaking in a support group, and hey, I'm attending too. I'd love to connect. I am so excited about that. Taking on this new role as head of support at a new company. It's very scary. It's very intimidating. It's exciting. It's all of the things. And so being able to just be in real life time, in real life space with other, peers and support experts and just people doing the day to day. I'm so excited. I'm very relational. I love connecting with people and talking and sharing ideas. So I am so excited, of course, about my talk, but also just the opportunity to connect with other support leaders and other support, just support workforce that sharing ideas and seeing how we can continue to elevate and evolve this wonderful world of support that we all love.
I love that. Yeah, I love that it's also a big community that it's still growing day by day, and that yeah, that we're going to have the chance to see face to face finally, because we're all around the world. So yeah, hopefully we can meet each other.
I'm just excited. I hope that people attend and get some great takeaways. And I'm also looking forward to hearing the other speakers and what they have to share as well.